Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Asad Yaqub here, and I welcome you to another super duper video on IELTS speaking module. Till the end of this video, if you stay with me, most definitely you will be crystal clear about IELTS speaking. Before we start, I want you to mark your attendance, and this time you are going to write your destination country. Australia, England, Canada, whatever, right? Your destination country and all that, right? And I'm going to check your comment and I'm going to reply that as well. Well, guys, in IELTS, there is one module which is speaking module. With a little extra effort, you can get very good bench score in this module. This is the shortest module in IELTS. The duration of your speaking test is 11 to 13 minutes, whereas writing is of 1 hour, reading is of 1 hour, listening is of 25 minutes. In speaking, within 11 to 13 minutes, you can get very good bench score if you follow my instructions, okay? Now, before we proceed, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing and hit the like button as well. Absolutely. Now, as far as IELTS speaking is concerned, examiner always observes 4 things in your English. Number 1, they check your fluency. Number 2, they check your pronunciation. Number 3, they check your grammar, and number 4, they check your vocabulary, and out of 9, they give you bench score in all 4, and then all the bands are actually added, divided by 4, and that is your bench score in IELTS speaking. By the way, for IELTS speaking, I have developed this book. This book has got 130 full speaking tests, all the questions with answers, and these 130 tests are those topics which are highly likely to appear in actual exam. If you want to get the book in PDF form all over the world or in printed form in Pakistan, you can contact us and we'll give you all the details. Now, when your IELTS speaking test starts, examiner asks you this first question after your identification and all that, and the question is, do you work or study? And there are 3 possible answers. If you study, you can say, I've just completed my intermediate and I want to go abroad for higher studies. Good answer. Examiner asks you, do you work or study? Well, in fact, actually, I work. At the moment, I'm working as a teacher in a local school. Third answer, do you work or study? Well, I'm a homemaker and I stay home to take care of my family. So this first question is asked so that examiner could screen you, okay? This is your MRI. Examiner wants to know whether you are a student or a professional or a housewife or homemaker. Actually, most appropriate word is homemaker. So then examiner will ask you questions accordingly. Let me tell you, IELTS speaking examiner has got 2 things in mind when they ask you question. When speaking examiners ask you the question, they try to ask you general questions on familiar topics. Questions are general, not general knowledge. Topics are familiar. If somebody asks me about my favorite color, this is a familiar topic for me. If somebody asks me about my hometown, this is a familiar topic for me. So general questions and familiar topics. Now, after the screening MRI, examiner will pick up a topic and ask you 5 to 6 questions. For example, the topic is hometown. Examiner will ask you 5 to 6 questions about hometown. Now, examiner's questions have 2 parts. The first part of the question is WH question. Okay, if examiner says why, it means answer should contain reason. If examiner says who, it means answer should contain person. If examiner says when, it means answer should contain time. If examiner says where, it means answer should contain location. If examiner says what, it means answer should contain something. If examiner says how often, it means answer should contain frequency. If examiner says, how long have you been? It means answer should contain present perfect continuous tense, okay? So the first part of examiner's question is WH question. You have to deal with that very, very carefully. The second part of examiner's question is the helping verb. How often do you? When did you? Where will you? All right, where have you? How long have you been? So this is the second part. We call it helping verb, and this helping verb and along with the main verb will actually tell you the tense of the question, right? And remember, the tense of examiner's question should be the tense of your answer. How often do you brush my teeth? Well, I always brush my teeth on the first of every month. All right, okay, so you know how often, and answer contains the frequency and all that, right? Now, whenever examiner asks you the question, you need to pick up the tense. If examiner says, how did you spend your childhood? Did you, past tense, right? Where will you go after 1 year? Or where will you go next month? So this is future. Have you attended any seminar recently? Have you eaten Chinese food recently? And how long have you been living in this city? So the tense of the question should be the tense of your answer. Now, most important part, how to answer the question. In order to answer the question, I have developed this wonderful structure, and this structure contains 3 parts. Okay, the first part is direct answer. Whatever the question is, what is your favorite color? I love dark colors. That is why black is my favorite color. All right. If they ask you a question what do you do in your spare time? Well, most of the time, whenever I am free, I prefer to go for jogging. See that? So the first step is give a direct answer, and this first step, first sentence should be a compound sentence. How? For example, what's your favorite drink? I always love to drink coffee, and there are several reasons behind my fondness for coffee. It's a compound sentence. So direct answer, and the first sentence should be a compound sentence. Step 1. Step 2, elaborate your answer. Now you can give reasons for your answer. If you like black color, why you like black color. If your favorite drink is coffee, why is coffee your favorite drink? You can give reasons for that. This is step 2. And step 3, conclude your answer and allow the examiner to ask you the next question. For that you can say, therefore, coffee has been my most favorite drink since my college life. That is why black has been my favorite color since my childhood. For all these reasons, I love to drink coffee. Something like this. 3-step formula. Any question examiner asks you in speaking part 1 or part 3, you can answer using this 3-step formula. And the length of your answer for speaking part 1 should be 4 to 6 sentences, right? And like this, examiner will ask you 5 to 8 questions. Answer every question, and then examiner will say, we now move on to IELTS speaking part 2. Examiner will give you a topic which is called cue card. Along with the topic, examiner will give you paper and pen, 1 minute time to read the topic, write down some notes, and after 1 minute, you will have to speak on that topic for minimum 1 minute and maximum 2 minutes. Now, when the topic comes in front of you, first of all, read the title. Describe a TV program you often watch. Describe a website you regularly use. Describe a person you like the most. Describe a book you often read. Describe a city you would like to visit. Now, the first thing you need to see, what is the main topic of my cue card and what is the tense of this topic? Describe a city you would like to visit. All right. Main topic is a city I would like to visit. That is future tense. So I have to talk about a city in the future. Describe a book you often read. you often read, present tense. I have to talk about a book which I read regularly. Okay, describe a place you visited in your childhood. So topic is place, tense is past. I have to talk about a place that I visited in the past. Like this, you need to understand the main cue card. Remember, in speaking, if you go off the topic, there is very serious penalty for that. Now you have paper. Describe a city you would like to visit. London, Brisbane, Melbourne. Okay, you can talk about any city like that. Describe a place you once visited. You can just talk about any place like a city or village and all that. So first write the title. After the main topic, there are 3 to 4 cues and they have written you should say. You should say cue number 1. For example, describe a city you would like to visit. You should say where the city is. Now you will talk about location, geography of the city, and you can make notes for that. And whenever you make notes, write an outline. Write your notes like heading. Okay, so if for example, I'm going to talk about a city I like to visit, where the city is, I can say in Europe, in France, right? So first of all, I would like to talk about the location of this city. All right, London is a very popular city and it is the part of UK, right? And this city is a metropolitan city. Every year, millions of tourists visit this city and it's been a very popular tourist destination. Like this, you need to elaborate. Look at the point, elaborate, and write the points in such a way that whenever you look at the point, it gives you idea. The point or the notes generate ideas for you so that you elaborate them. Then the second point. Why would you like to go there? Now you can signpost your answer. I would like to go there for a couple of reasons. First of all, it has been my dream city since my childhood when I watched a comedy program and that program was made in London. Since that time, I decided to visit this city. Secondly, I love to speak English. And English language is spoken in London, especially British English. So I would like to communicate with people to acquire British accent. See that? And finally, I would like to go there for shopping and all that. So you can signpost your answer. First of all, secondly, finally, and all that. And then pick up the next point. So in 1 minute time, read the main title, make an outline, read a cue, make another outline, read a cue, make another outline. And after 1 minute, when examiner says, you will now have to speak on this topic for 1 to 2 minutes. Topic is in front of you. Notes are in front of you. Pencil is in your hand. And you can take a look at the topic, the notes, and you can speak comfortably. In speaking part 2, examiner will stop you. When 1 minute time is over, usually you have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes and examiners interrupt after 1.5 minutes. Sometimes they allow you to speak for 2 minutes. So when examiner interrupts and if you try to finish before a minute, examiner will just say carry on. They will not talk, but they will give you some signs through body language. Carry on, all right? Doesn't mean Kalocho, stand up. It means go on, right? Once your speaking part 2 is over, examiner will say, give me the topic back, cue card back, because that cue card is reusable cue card, pencil and paper back, right? And then examiner will say, we now move on to IELTS speaking part 3. Let me tell you, the level of difficulty increases. Speaking part 1 is the simplest one. Speaking part 2 is 1 level up. Basic level, intermediate level, and speaking part 3 is advanced level where they check your English. In IELTS speaking part 3, which is called follow-up questions, examiner will ask you the questions which are usually related to the cue card. So if the topic is describe a city you would like to visit, in speaking part 3, examiner will ask you some further questions which are related to city and all that stuff, right? So there are 5 categories of questions examiner will ask you, and I want you all, for each category of question, you have to learn at least 2 to 3 structures. First of all, in speaking part 3, examiner will ask you opinion-based questions. Do you think, do you believe, in your viewpoint, right? And you have to answer. And whenever you express your opinion, you say, in my opinion, to my way of thinking, as far as I am concerned, in my perspective, the way I look at it, all right, in my point of view. So you need to learn at least 2 to 3 phrases where you express your opinion. And again, remember 3-step formula: direct answer, elaborate your answer, and conclude your answer. After opinion, examiner may ask you to discuss the advantages. What are the benefits of visiting other cities? Okay, and whenever they ask you benefits or drawbacks, you can signpost your answer. First of all, the main benefit is, explain that. Then there is another plus point, explain that. And finally, there is another perk of visiting a foreign city, and that is, so you can signpost your answer. When you signpost your answer will be very well organized. So advantages, disadvantages. The next category is comparison. In IELTS Speaking Part 3, examiner will ask you to compare 2 things, one from past, one from present, one from present, one from future, both from present. Okay, so what are the benefits of living in the city as compared to the village? Or why do people prefer to live in the village instead of cities? So comparison. Past, present, 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 future, 2 things. So you need to learn some comparative structures, at least 4 to 5 comparative structures, and you can order or you can give a prompt to any AI tool and you'll get them. Okay. After that, the next category, it's the final one, we call it prediction. Opinion, advantages, disadvantages, comparison, and finally prediction. In this part of your speaking test, examiner will ask you questions with next 5 years, next 10 years, next 20 years. Will people travel to other countries in the next 10 years? Right? Will people continue to learn foreign languages after 15 years? So after 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, over here, you need to use vocabulary, you need to use sentence structure for prediction. For example, you can give this command to any AI tool, give me 5 sentences to express prediction in English language. Give me 5 sentences to express comparison in English language. Give me 5 sentences to express opinion in English language. And these sentences you can use appropriately in actual exam, and this can bring you very good bench score. Finally, your speaking test is the test which can improve your overall bench score. These 11 sacred minutes are going to determine your band if you follow all the tips and techniques. And if you want to practice further, we have this speaking book. There are 130 tests, and this is a speaking guest book. In actual exam, your 70 to 80% speaking will come from this book. If you want to get this book, you can just contact us and we'll give you all the details. Practice makes perfect. If you practice the topics which are highly anticipated in actual exam, you will be more confident. If today somebody asks me about my favorite color, right, and I go to IELTS exam and examiner asks me about my favorite color, I will answer without a second thought because I have answered this question already. Okay, so all the best, guys. Thank you so much. If you're new to my channel, consider subscribing, comment this video. Now tell me at the conclusion if you are still with me. This will show your seriousness towards IELTS, right? And I also teach IELTS online all over the world, and in campus in Lahore, Pakistan, we have two wonderful books on IELTS, one on IELTS speaking, one on IELTS writing. If you want to get these books, you can. And for IELTS listening and reading, we have two wonderful digital books. These digital books will help you. We have a software for computer delivered IELTS. Okay, so there are so many things. I mean, you want any solution for any of your IELTS problem, you can contact us and we'll give you all the solutions. Asad Yaqub wholeheartedly wishes you best of luck. Take care. Allah Hafiz.